Hey there, this is the Orlando Squadcast. It is your one-stop shop for all the latest news, history, and updates from the city beautiful.
Hey, checkers.
Ooh. Yeah. This city is so huge, so there's a lot going on.
So tips, secrets, happenings, anything that's new that's happening, you're going to be hearing it here first. Thanks for joining us.
Keep going, that was great.
As we explore the vibrant culture, people, and places that make Orlando so damn special. Get ready to be in the know and stay in the know with the Orlando Squadcast. Today, I'm your host, Jonathan Spiegel. I'm here with Vivian. And also right along to the right-hand side of me is my main man, my main squeeze, Mark Raw Maker. How you doing today?
What's up, Spiegel?
I'm doing
Dude, your intros are always, I get excited and anxious at the same time.
They keep me on my toes.
Yeah, I do, because I know you're reading it, but I also know you don't like to just read stuff. It's boring.
I hate reading.
Yeah, it was good. I like it. I'm good. You good?
I'm good.
But it's not just us.
Yeah,
Never
no,
is. Never
not
is.
just
Because we're
us
the
two.
Three Amigos. Remember that movie? It was a great movie. Robert Stack.
Hey, guys.
Rob. We call him Rob.
Woo! Hey, thanks for having me on the show again.
You're a host.
So anyways, if you're new, welcome. If you're returning, you're our favorite listener. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe, as we will be releasing a new episode every single Wednesday. Our goal is to provide valuable content for those who live in and love Orlando. We want to connect our great community and share everything and everyone that helped make the city beautiful. Freaking beautiful.
That's right. We have an awesome show today.
We do.
We got a great guest. His name is Equity Ben, and he's going to be talking to us with his newfound role as dad and being Insta famous and all these different kinds of things. So it's going to be awesome. Make sure
He's gonna
stay tuned.
talk us through his Disney career too.
Oh, we can't wait.
Yeah, it's
how
gonna be
he's on
great.
Frozen.
Yeah, he's a wild guy. I can't wait to see where this interview
But
goes.
before we get to the guest,
Yeah, what's been going on with you?
you know, there's been some stuff going on with me lately.
Tell us.
Well, I just got back from a cruise.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it was interesting cruise.
It was a birthday cruise,
It was
right?
a birthday cruise. Had a wonderful time celebrating my wife.
Yeah.
She turned 21 for the sixth time, and she's just radiant and awesome. We had a wonderful time celebrating my wife's cruise.
But this is a special one because
This is a special one because it was adults only.
no kids allowed.
No
kids.
kids allowed.
And you have two little kids, so that's interesting.
So we
How
got
was
to leave the
that?
kids
How
at
was
home.
that like that time with no responsibility? What
It was cool. We were able to check in with the kiddos at the beginning of the day and just kind of say hi, you know. And
Let me ask you this, because Sarah and I found this out our first time we went without kids.
Yeah.
Like, really, did you find yourself talking about your kids more than you should have?
we did the first day.
Yeah.
And then we
It's hard not to.
We made a pact that we were like, all right, cool. We got our talking of the kids out of the way. Let's try and talk about adult things.
That was
and
smart.
all that
It's
kind of
hard.
stuff.
That's
Yeah.
a smart thing
So,
to do
you know,
to set
yeah.
that expectation.
Yeah, we did. It was good. It was good.
So what were some highlights of the cruise?
Some highlights of the cruise. Let me tell you, the Bimini that we went to they're a little private island called Bimini.
Oh, so the cruise
in
that
the
you went
Bahamas.
on,
Yes.
you went on Virgin cruises,
yes,
correct?
went on Virgin
and
voyages.
most of those cruises have their own
And
private
you have to be a
island.
virgin to go on it?
Yes, you have to be a
Okay.
virgin to
Great.
go on it. At
Cool.
least in some shape, form, or fashion. You know, you don't have to put that on your questionnaire, but it's
you have a
implied.
card that
So,
says virgin.
yeah.
A lot of people lie then, huh?
A lot of people lie.
Yeah,
for
all
sure.
lies.
Yeah,
Cool.
so
So Bippity Boppity is the
Bimini
island?
Bobbidi Boobity
What's
is
the
the name
island
of the
called?
island. Bimini.
Bimini.
It's not even a word.
So okay, so this is
Bimini.
it sounds like, doesn't that sound like a video company? Bimini.
Bimini.
It'd be like
Wow,
a
it
video.
sounds like he doesn't know how to say the island right,
Bimini.
so he's just making a
Oh,
noise.
yeah,
Yeah, I know.
That's what it sounds like.
Bimini. No, it
Okay,
was
so
good.
they're a newer company. So like, was their island like set up?
Their
Like, was
island was set up. They had water surrounding it. There was sand. You know, as
trees.
far
That's
as
really cool.
as far as some other things, you know, they were lacking a few other items,
Like
you know,
chairs.
like chairs. You know, they had plenty of chairs, just not a lot of ice or cups. That was in one. That was a couple things they were missing a lot of. So, but you know, that was good. I think so.
But good quality time with
good
your
quality
wife.
time with my
Man,
wife.
I can't wait to go to Bikini.
Bibbity.
Yeah.
Bobbity. Bimini. Bimini.
So that's what's new in my life, you know. And
That sounds great.
We're gonna talk about.
And it's cool about going on cruises out of Orlando because you just drive over to the port.
Oh, it's
Just
so
drive to the port.
easy. It's
Oh,
like what, an
man.
hour and a half away from
Yeah,
the
think
port?
about all the other people who don't live in Orlando that have to fly to go on a cruise.
It's always wild to hear the people have to say, I had to do this, I had to go.
I had
on
to
a
drive. I had
bus."
to get a hotel. We
Yeah.
can just wake up and just hop,
It's
just
so much
jump over.
easier
We
for
can
us
Uber.
to cruise here in Orlando because we live so close to the
with
port.
the new Bright Line, you can just go down,
Oh,
hop on
that's
the Bright Line,
right.
take
Oh, you
right
go to
down the
Miami?
port.
Did
Yeah,
you go to
we went out of Miami.
Still easy. I can just drive.
Still
over there.
very easy.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Halfway through driving to Miami, I blacked out.
Mm-hmm.
Just because once you're into that traffic, you're just
Yeah,
like, well,
yeah,
here we go.
Put
on Daft Punk and just keep praying.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
good.
then all of a sudden just woke up and I was at the cruise.
That's a
port and-
fun time.
Yeah, it's
Should
fun.
we
We got a great show, but before we do that, I think we should do maybe a little bit of a
O-Town Throwdown?
O-Town Throwdown.
Okay. O-Town Throwdown. All right, I'm going to start off. Local Yokel. I'm curious if you guys have done this. I've never done this before. Have you guys heard of this Silver Moon Drive-In Theater?
Yes.
Is
I've heard
that
of
in
it.
Ocala?
It's in Lakeland.
Lakeland.
I'm gonna give you a description, then we
yes.
can talk about
Haven't
it.
done it.
I've driven
Are you
past
looking for a
it.
cool and nostalgic night out? The Silver Moon Drive is a local gym that offers a fantastic outdoor movie experience for the whole family, with admission prices at just $8 for adults, $3 for kids aged 4 to
prices.
9, and free for children under 4. You'll be able to enjoy a double feature without breaking the bank. Open 7 nights a week, including holidays. The Silver Moon Drive-In boasts 2 screens. There's always a great selection of movies, brand new ones. Gates open 1 hour before the showtime on Fridays and Saturdays, and 45 minutes on weekdays. Check the website, but they have like cool. It's like 50s themed, completely full out. It's one of the only. Let me see. It says right here. It's like one of the last standing drive-ins in the country. It's
so
crazy.
cool.
But you can tune your radio in. You can rent a little thing for your thing.
Yeah.
You can bring your pets.
So they
You
come
can just
by.
hang out.
Do you have to go up and get the food, or they have come by people? That
I
come
think
by
you go up and get the food.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's
I
awesome.
can't wait to go do that.
Oh, that sounds like
If
so
there-
much
You
fun.
get for $8, you see two one's at
full
8 o'clock,
movies.
one's at 11
Yeah,
o'clock.
That's a whole night.
Like right now, like they're already showing like the Guardians movie,
Yeah.
and then the summer the Flash is gonna like
For real?
So they do
big
newer
mo-
movies there.
brand new movies.
Oh, because
like,
mostly
on release day.
because I've seen some drive-ins here and there, and they're always older
No,
films
on
that you don't
release
wanna
day,
see.
they like here come see this movie.
That's cool.
That's really,
yeah.
really cool.
Have you
Because
been
you
to?
can't
Have
do
you
that.
ever been to a drive-in?
I used to go all the time
I
to
did too as a
drive-in
kid.
movie theaters. Like
Have
as
you
kids.
been before?
I think I've been to one, or I remember being in a dream and I was at one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, for
Dreamland,
sure.
Dreamland
I'm
drive-in.
not really sure if it was real or not.
Probably wasn't real.
but it felt like
yeah,
a
but I
dream.
mean, Lakeland's not in Orlando, but it's depending on where you are.
It's
It's
not that
45
bad.
minutes.
Yeah,
or
it's not that
on the
bad
way
at
to
all.
And there's
Tampa.
some good restaurants. One of my favorite restaurants is in Lakeland.
I know,
and
but
so-
you also like they have
and
all
I've driven past that. The
Silver
drive-in.
Moon, but they have a full menu. They have a bunch of stuff. You can get popcorn, but they also have like hot dogs, and I mean, you're there for the night.
Yeah.
Think about how you can sit. You can open you can sit
You
on the
can-
hood of your car.
You can just start singing.
$8.
Stranded at the
No, if they got
drive-in.
all that savory
Ready
stuff,
to-
I got to make sure they have like some ice cream sandwiches.
Oh, they have all that
yeah.
maybe
stuff,
some
man.
frozen Snickers,
All that
and
stuff, and you can
Yeah.
buy merch there. They have all this cool like 50s themed merch, like Silver Moon,
and then
Yeah,
all
it's
from the
brand-
comfort of your own car.
Yeah.
Okay,
have it.
speaking
Yeah.
on that 50s theme,
Yeah, tell me.
I got a little park narc for you.
Ooh, Park Narc.
And it's speaking within the
Narc.
50s theme.
Mm.
And
What
we
do
didn't
we
talk
got?
about this beforehand.
Oh,
It's like we planned it.
yeah. What do you got for us?
So there is a new Streetmosphere flash mob happening at Universal Studios at Mel's Drive-In.
what?
Yep, exactly right.
It's a 50s diner.
It's a 50s
is
diner.
50s
It's a
diner.
50s flash mob style. It's freaking awesome. It's called Drive-In and Dance. Yeah, I know, right? So it's a 1950s dance theme, poodle skirts, people dressed up in the normal Mel's Drive-In kind of gear and everything.
yeah.
All of a sudden you hear some music coming on, and then there's like a little dance thing that happens. Then a couple more couples join, and then after a little while, kind of flip the script, and it's a full-on like EDM freaking dance music festival
What?
with all these people dressed in 1950s gear, and they're just having a freaking dance
That's
party.
so fun. I've always wanted something like right there. That
Yeah,
that-
because it's a big like intersection.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of street area.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So
And that's where the parade goes through, right?
That's where the parade goes
Yeah.
through, right around there. And then Mel's Drive-In actually does have a stage right there in
Yep.
front of it.
Yep.
So Michael Lee, he's the guy who does the show directing and stuff over there. In his article, he said, it's an incredible mashup of 50s nostalgia in the modern EDM festival.
Nice.
That's
So
cool.
it has
That's
kind of
exactly
those
what we
vibes.
want.
Exactly what you want, right? So that's that 50s style.
I feel like
modern
Universal
kind of
keeps
style.
adding more entertainment.
Definitely. And they always have a lot of great roles for guest interactive roles.
Yeah.
You know, so at the end of this flash mob, there's also a chance for the guests to become involved, and they go out and ask the audience to come
Yeah.
along with
Yeah.
them and dance and stuff. So
Suck
just
up.
a way to break that barrier, get the
Good for
guests
Universal.
involved, and
Yeah, good for Universal.
I like that
I'm
Park
glad
Narc.
that
That's
they're
good.
doing
I'm
more
gonna go see it
entertainment.
next time I go.
Yeah,
I'm
go
gonna
see it.
go
Go check
next
it out.
month, maybe.
Universal
Maybe.
Studios. Not IOA. Island
Oh yeah,
Adventure.
Mel's Diner
Yeah, Mel's Diner.
by the across the street from a horror makeup show and right by Transformers.
Mark knows where
Mark
it is.
knows
I
where
do.
he's. Where
I
he's
worked
More
there
like
for a
the
while.
Mark Narc.
I work.
Mark, yes.
Your turn, Rob. What do you got for us?
Oh well, going away from the 50s theme.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So
that's
SeaWorld reveals more details about entering into the hotel game. Because you know how SeaWorld does not have any
Right.
no hotels.
Nope.
So they expanded on their plans to do this. They're going to start entering the game. I think they have weeks. Let's see. The company, which is hosted first quarter 2023, said that it will continue with its plans to expand theme park operations portfolio. Park operation portfolio to include hotels. So I think they want to do 2 hotels, and they want to start in 2025.
That's so smart. I'm surprised it took them this long, to be honest.
I know.
Because like if you go to see, like nobody feels like the SeaWorld isn't the destination. It's
Correct.
like this, I'll do that on
Even
Tuesday.
Legoland has a hotel that you can stay at. So the fact that they don't have one, I always thought they did. So it's bizarre to me.
They have a lot of hotels over there, but they're not
They're not
hotels.
SeaWorld.
They're not
They're
SeaWorld.
like
Yeah, they're not
Drury
affiliated.
Lanes.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what they name them. What do you guys think? What would be one of the names?
Sham Motel.
That's a good one.
The Sharkaton Hotel.
The Penguin Inn.
The Penguin Inn.
How
How about
Flaming Let's Go?
Flamingo? Let's see. How about Raisin?
Oh, I like that.
That's good. Raise in. I like
Raise
that.
in.
Okay, well, looks like they don't need to brainstorm.
Trademark. Copyright.
Trademark.
Yeah, thank you.
That's exciting.
SeaWorld
I think that's
for
progress.
sponsoring this
I
episode.
think
I
that's
think
progress.
so too.
Thank you,
It's
Steve.
progress for them for sure.
Yeah, more hotels. That's something we just don't have enough of here.
SeaWorld's got it going on.
We have a big shortage of hotels here.
Yeah.
That means more jobs, though. I'm always pumped up for more jobs, more opportunities.
Correct.
Yeah, SeaWorld's got it going on. I also read that they just posted their earnings and stuff like that. They had more revenue and less park attendance. So people are going there and staying there longer and spending more money there.
Good.
Yeah.
Because they're doing good stuff. I love SeaWorld. It's
They
awesome.
have some of the best coasters, I think, in Orlando.
Pipeline that we talked about.
Oh, we did talk about it.
Speaking of talking about, should we talk to Ben?
Yeah, let's go ahead and
Yeah,
get our
let's-
interview with Ben.
Let's see what he has to say.
I got to stretch first.
Are you done?
Yep, good.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's rock and roll. Hi there. My name is Jonathan, the Dreammaker Spiegel. Welcome to the Orlando podcast. We have a wonderful, wonderful interview for you today. We have Mr. Ben Ptashinsky Skinner. You might know him as Equity Ben. Equity Ben, ladies and gentlemen, is a local person here in the Orlando area. You know him as Equity Ben. He is the self-entitled gay-at-home dad. He likes to entertain all of his audience, but we know him as Orlando's best actor as well as comedian. 2022, Eat Your Heart Out. A 20-year Actors Equity Association member and a Broadway World Award winner in 2017 for his Best in the Musical Encore, Hairspray, and a member of the International Clown Hall of Fame, Ben has taken a small step back from full-time entertaining and performing to being a stay-at-home dad. Aww. After doing so, his social media absolutely exploded, featuring all of his content on Good Morning America, MTV, and the History Channel, among many, many others. Ben has chosen to make family his #1 priority. However, audience can still see him perform a couple days a week on the old international interweb things called, what is it, Schmucks? Schmucks Who Cook?
Yeah, my cooking show. Any schmuck can cook.
Any schmuck can cook. And there's another thing that you do once a week as well.
It's called the At Equity Ben's Joke of the Day.
At Equity Ben's Joke of the Day. That's on the interwebs. But he's also touring in his one-man show, How Ya Been, which is sold out numerous times, actually every time it's been booked. So find him in his one-man show. Find him on the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, Equity, Ben, Equity, Ben Ptashinsky Skinner.
Hi.
How about that?
Hi.
You
That
never
was
knew
great.
where it was
That
going.
was amazing.
You
I
never
loved
knew where it
every
was
second
going.
of that.
It's kind of like you get on a horse and you just say, where am I going?
I felt like you were
do
filling
that.
out a Mad
It was
Libs. That
bugging
was
out.
stunning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love his
thank you.
intros are very specific and
Yeah,
great.
we get
That's
excited.
good.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Oh
having
man,
me. Truly.
you're one of the first people we reached out to about this because we were super pumped to have you on.
And why are you the last person to book it?
Are
you that busy?
I
He's
was
busy.
He is that
canceled
busy.
because one of you had
were
to have a
canceled?
baby.
I had a baby.
Oh,
I canceled it.
That's right.
That's
I canceled
right.
it, remember that?
I think it's hysterical how many kids you've had.
I know. I can't even do any
My
podcasts.
dream as a little boy, I was like, oh, I'd love to have one kid, but I'm a homosexual. And you're like, well, I'm not, and I'm
I'm
having
not.
several.
Watch this.
I can't.
Yes,
Yeah.
my
At this
wife
point-
is a clown car.
At this point, he can't stop. Like
I can't. No, I can't.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to the clown car. So you are in the International Clown Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Okay, so
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Okay, so at 6 years old, I was on the local Bozo show, and I won the game.
The grand prize game.
It not the grand prize.
Okay, sorry.
It was the throw the balloon into the hamper game, which is super weird because that's like sports. And I was this 6-year-old F word for gay playing this game against an actual 11-year-old sports playing, wearing like a hockey jersey kid.
And you crushed
I
him.
won. Oh, and it was so gay. I was like, I won. And I was like obsessed with that show. I watched the Bozo Show every single day. And I thought, oh my goodness, my mom looked it up and said you could go to clown college, and I became an actor. I didn't do any of that. And then years later, my contract at Disney wasn't renewed, and I get a call from Disney saying, you know, we do love you. Would you ever consider being a clown for us? And I went to my husband. I was like, I don't know what the hell this is. Let's do it. So
I didn't know this part of his life.
I didn't know it. We're starting with like the juice.
They brought in like Ringling clowns. We did a show. We like took awards for this Ringling style clown show in New Fantasyland. I had to learn how to do clown makeup and all the stuff that clowns have to do. And at the end of the show is like a huge thank you. One of the Ringling clowns submitted all of our names, and we all got admitted into the International Clown Hall of Fame. And that's the only thing that people ever want to talk about when I do stuff like this.
I did it for 10 minutes.
Right.
So there's 3 main types of clowns.
Auguste. I was an Auguste.
You're an Auguste?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
You know this? You know this?
Yeah, I know this.
Oh my
I also just started rewatching
Modern Family.
Modern Family.
Yeah.
And
So this is super crazy. The time of the show, right? I'm gay. Okay. I was 400 pounds at the time. My husband was the businessman in the relationship.
What was your name?
My name was Chuckles Buffoon McMuckyshine III. They called
That's a
me.
name.
They called me Chuck. We were called the Giggle Gang, so we were all named.
Oh my gosh!
After types of laughter. Which 2 years into the run of the show, I realized the whole time we rehearsed the show, I didn't realize that we were all named after types of laughter. A legitimate idiot. But I was the boss clown.
Okay.
So I just told everybody what to do, which got messed up. And, you know, I'll be frank, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I was proud of what I did. But if I never, ever have to do that ever again, I would be okay.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Because
it's all of that. Plus, most of the time, you're not able to talk. So it's an over-the-top miming role.
Yeah.
You know? I love clowns in a very nice and safe way.
Yeah. But a lot of people don't.
But a lot of people don't.
That's
don't.
where it gets frustrating because we were hired to entertain and people
End up
were
scaring
scared.
people.
Yeah.
I'm going to pivot a little bit because I want to know. So Equity Bin
Yeah.
is your name. That's your brand.
Yeah.
Really, right?
Yeah.
How did that, besides you were Actors Equity?
That's
is
really it.
Yeah, but it became your brand on Instagram and
Yeah.
followers
Well,
and people.
It took off,
Yeah.
right? So everybody
who
knew
called,
me.
where did it come from?
So about
I thought you did loans until like 13 hours ago.
Yeah. He
for
really
you, I'll
did.
do a loan. I am Jewish. So we can make this happen.
His interest rate's
not
like
gonna be
50.
Great, though. Yeah, 50%. Yes.
I'm the bank.
I'm Jewish and Italian, so I will collect.
But you'll get your money.
All right, so we're dealing with the Medici.
So I was at Disney. I was doing a show, and I became super popular to the point where people were like trying to figure out my schedule
From the guests. The
From the
guests.
guests.
Yes.
Okay, is it Frozen?
Yes,
Frozen.
And yes, and they were like threatening the cast members. You have to tell us the schedule, and I thought that's creepy.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
let me just post it, right? Let me post my schedule.
Right.
And I didn't want to get stuck because at Disney, you kind of pivot all the time.
Right.
At that point, I had done 25 shows for Disney. So I didn't want to be Frozen Guy or Frozen Ben or anything Frozen. And if I never have to talk about Frozen again, that would be amazing.
Right.
So I thought Equity, because I'll always be Equity.
Yeah.
And in fact, the only reason I haven't changed it is because it took off.
Yeah, it's 'cause
And
it's
so
your
changing the
brand.
brand this late.
Right.
would
I
be
just keep it.
detrimental.
And plus equity means a lot of things, right? Like
Yeah.
it means like equality for everybody. So I'm like on board for this.
Yeah.
So that's where that came from. And then during the pandemic, I started a TikTok and I hit 1 million followers. And I thought, well, I really can't change this now. Now that changed. I got banned permanently because
You're still banned?
I started a new one.
It's a hard
Yeah, but he
app
got-
to like get
So I'm
through
at
that.
almost 400,000
Okay.
now. Over the past year, I've rebuilt.
Did you repost your viral video?
Yes.
Yeah.
So slowly but surely, I repost all my viral
Yeah.
stuff. And what's crazy is
Well, did they not receive your initial dancing Borat down at Lake Eola video? Or
That-
what, did that not was that not what you released first on TikTok? Or?
That was for OnlyFans.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Oh,
gotcha.
I saw.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
different platform.
Different
Different brand,
Yeah.
different platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So I didn't, at that point, had all these followers. I didn't want to change it. And so I just kind of stuck. And I also kind of love it at this point. I just kind of love it.
Yeah.
And it is weird to be literally at this point everywhere and get recognized.
Mhm.
I mean, we went to Cancun with my family and I was recognized at the
No
Nickelodeon
way.
resort. Yeah.
People don't realize how big social media like stars are now. Like we went on a cruise. I remember when I went on a cruise and we saw another like TikTok celebrity as well. So like it's becoming a thing.
It's
Well,
totally a thing.
And we've known each other a long time. And going back, that wasn't you weren't destined to be like, you know what? I love Instagram. I'm gonna do everything on there. Like, how did that?
It happened
Oh, the
because of the
pandemic.
pandemic. Yeah,
100%.
everybody's
You had
eyes
a
went
following
online.
before
So
that,
you were
but
like,
the following was
well,
based on
and that's what I think is fascinating. Like, you know how hard it is to become famous, like through
Yes.
working through Disney, and people
Yeah.
were like seeking you out. I remember people seeking you out when you were at Hoop-Dee-Doo.
Yeah, well, that's true too. And what's crazy about that is that was before internet.
Internet.
So
It was word of mouth only.
yeah,
And,
people really had to stalk my
Yes.
schedule then,
Right.
and
Yeah.
kind of like do math. There's a crazy story about Hoop-Dee-Doo. I was doing a show at Hollywood Studios at the time called MGM Studios called Mulch, Sweat, and Shears.
Oh yeah,
I remember that show.
Oh, I loved that
It
show.
was
great.
the best.
So
I
fun.
loved that gig. And there was a lady in the audience, and she was in a wheelchair, no issues,
Mhm.
and she loved the show.
Hmm.
Okay, I usually interact. I especially interacted with people in wheelchairs because I just wanted to make everybody feel inclusive. And I noticed at Disney, those are the people that are often left out. And so
Mhm.
if I could at any point involve somebody in a wheelchair, I always did.
Yeah.
So I did. That night at Hoop-Dee-Doo, after I had done a full day, I went and did, because at the time you just worked
did everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Before kids, you just work every
Yep.
hour. She was at the first show. Then she was at the second show. Then
Oh.
she was at the third show.
Oh.
And without the wheelchair.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Right? I know. A little weird. And she had written a letter, and the stage manager wasn't allowed to give me the letter, and I had to be walked to the car.
Oh,
from
Dude, what kind of
security.
interaction did you have with her in this wheelchair? Did you give her a lap dance?
Essentially.
No, I mean, that
Mulch,
was his.
sweat, and tears.
that was his
like,
thing.
I
it
mean,
was a little bit like Misery, like the
Yeah,
Stephen
wow.
King.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
she breaks his
So
feet at the
what
bed.
if you actually healed her legs?
Yeah, maybe. Who
What if
knows?
she was just like,
Love is my leg.
That's fine, but the people that do stuff like that, they get rewarded financially. So if I'm going to be a spiritual
Yeah,
leader,
you
I'm
should,
going to need
yeah.
10%. I need
Instead, you just
tithe.
get
Yeah.
police escorted off.
Police. You have to use hand quotes. Disney security
I
is
know.
not police.
No, they're not. So in the pandemic
my
hit,
uncle.
you went into full content creation, not really understanding that it was content creation. You were just entertaining the people you've
And
already.
is that what it
Yeah.
was? You was like, I'm just going to entertain and see what happens.
And even less. I was just posting my life, and people are like, this is amazing. I
Yeah.
need to see more of this.
Mhm.
Could I sponsor? I know you're out of work. Could I sponsor an episode? And these were small little companies.
Yeah.
Now huge companies, which is wild. They grow, we grow, everybody grows.
Yeah.
Jeff's Bagels was one, right? Like
Yeah.
they sponsored you guys obviously sponsored a bunch of
we love
stuff. And that's how it kind of happened. And so I
Mhm.
thought, oh, well, let me just keep this up. And that has allowed me to, I was making, I don't like talking about money because it's uncomfortable, but I was making just as much as I was at Disney.
Mhm.
And I thought, wait, why would I go back to a
Yeah.
company that is legitimately censoring everything I say, but also, and certainly not to talk negatively about them, but was not the greatest place to work.
Right.
So
right.
yeah.
why not work
Right.
for my
Well,
boss now is
your
my
skill set. The people that
5-year-old.
don't know, your listeners, your skill set is improv based, and like you are one of the funniest people I've ever been on stage
I
with.
love you.
No,
I
it's
love
true,
you. No,
and
it
but
is
you're also
true.
humble about it too. I have a real quick story. Like he says, he doesn't get nervous. The first time Ben came and worked with me at Hoop-Dee-Doo, I was like, Ben,
Same exact
Ben's coming
story.
in,
I
and
was so
you were there
nervous.
early. I came in, and I'm usually early too. I came in, you were already there, like fully in costume. 2 hours before the show started, I feel like, and you were sweating, and you're like, "Hi, Ben. I'm just freaking. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out." I was like, "That's Ben." Like it. You were just so on edge, ready to be great that night. It wasn't like you came in smoking a cigarette and be like, "I'm Ben. I'm going to be awesome." Like you were so in tune with everything that night, which is why you're so good at what
Well,
you
thank
do.
you.
But the improv stuff, going back to the Frozen, I saw you a few times there, and it was the show is okay, but you made it something special for every audience member, and I know that's why they started saying, like, if I'm going to see the show, I have to go see Ben. Why would I?
Yeah, because it's a different experience, like leaps
that
and bounds.
also went wildly viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
So I think that was, people were assuming that that's what they were getting, and they
Yep.
would come to the show and they wouldn't get that.
Sure.
And what's wild is people think, oh, you must have been breaking the rules. Everything that has ever gone viral or anything I ever did at Disney was by the book. And then it would go viral and people would get in trouble.
Sure.
And I would never get in trouble because it was always by the book. But
Right.
they would come in and say, oh, you can't do that anymore.
Now.
So for me, and me specifically, and truly nobody else, they just kept moving the goalpost.
Right.
And that was exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're
And-
the only one doing that. You're the only one like making the shows that much better.
It's wild what you want to do to make the people that really pay your mortgage happy.
Right.
Happy, have
The
fun.
the audience, right? Like
Yeah.
you want to connect with
It'd be no
them.
show
Yeah.
if there wasn't an audience.
Yeah.
Right.
at all.
And that's something that you've
Mhm.
done so well, even from like the Hoop-Dee-Doo days. Like I don't know, you just had the audience right there in the palm of your hand the whole time.
I think when it comes down to performing, it's always about relationship, always, right? Authenticity and relationship. And I think if you put that at the top of the list always, you're always going to win. And I know we're not talking about real estate, but this is why you three are successful, because it is about being authentic and creating a relationship. And you're not going to get anyone to buy a house from you if you're not real and you're not creating a relationship.
Right.
Correct.
But I can't tell you how many performers I've worked with that won't look you in the eye.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
creeps me out.
My word,
Creeps me
it
out.
creeps me out.
Yeah.
They won't look the audience in the eye. It's not real. Like you want to create that relationship. You know, I have my tiny itsy bitsy hat in the ring at Universal. I do like 1 day a week, 1 day every other week. Last 2 months, 1 day a month. You know, when I can to keep my ID and get my
It's
kid
fun
in.
too. Yeah.
And our show is like 7 minutes, 6 minutes. You have no time to create a relationship. And there's something that just gets me off that I'm able to do what I did in a 90-minute show at
7
Hoop-Dee-Doo or a
minutes.
35-minute
Yeah.
show at Frozen in 5, 6, 7 minutes at
It's
Universal.
such
A new
skill
challenge.
set.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's just, and also,
Equity Ben, I got a question for you really fast.
please.
Ooh,
Sorry.
ooh.
No problem. Just going back to your improvisation and you now being a content creator, do you find yourself having those moments whenever you're creating content? Are those more improvised moments, or are you thinking about those things and what you're going to be creating? Do you think
Good question.
like maybe a week in advance and you kind of model your schedule around what you would like to create? Or is it just one of those things where based upon your improvisational personality, it just kind of happens
You like
that?
document it.
You know? Yeah.
Honestly, both.
Okay.
The original Equity Ben TikTok that had 1 million followers, everything was planned. I was doing something every day, and that was a job.
Mhm.
And I said, I don't want to work anymore. And so after I got banned, I said, I'm not doing TikTok anymore. But then the brand deal started going away, and that money is good.
Yeah.
Right? So when that dried up, I thought, well, maybe I should start my TikTok again. And the second time I started my TikTok, I was more authentic. I wasn't posting just to post. Those videos have done substantially well. And what's crazy is, and we've actually talked, Mark and I have talked specifically about social media. Is this real? Are they buying followers? What's going on? I have kind of noticed when people are faking it. You can see an account with 1 million followers, and if their first 10, 15 videos have under 10,000 views, it's just not real.
Yeah.
They're faking it.
Yeah.
I have 400,000 followers. My videos get 50,000 views a video.
Yeah.
And that's just
math. That's
what
just
it's
data.
math.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's
Real
because
people.
you grew your audience organically.
And I'm posting real stuff.
Correct. Yes.
I grew it authentically. I'm
Yep.
posting real
So the
stuff.
company sees the value in you as a
Yes.
content creator. So they reward that.
Yes. Oh,
How'd
How'd you
100%.
how'd you go from being a character in shows
Yeah.
to now having more success just being you on Instagram, TikTok? Do you know
Every
what I mean?
character,
That's got to give you
I
such
feel like
validity.
everything I say is such bullshit, but everything I'm saying is true, right? You
Yeah.
know, like sometimes you're like, oh God, that's the
Script,
textbook
yeah,
answer.
Yeah,
Every time I was in a show, I was just me.
Mhm.
I was just an extension of me,
Sure.
right? Which is why it was successful.
Yep.
And again, I would never, I mean, even bound to a table with a knife to my throat, I would never tell you the names of the people. but we've all worked with those people that it's not, and it's not real, and it's not authentic.
It's very mechanical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've been seeing a lot of shows at Dr. Phillips, right? And a lot of the tours are union, and some of them aren't. And you people always ask me, well, you know, why are you going and supporting non-union work? And for me, it's because I already have the tickets, right?
I'm a season ticket
I'm
holder.
going.
Like, I'm not gonna not go.
But the difference between the two, and I'm not saying that you have to be union to be
Sure.
authentic, but that's the difference. You watch the union show and the non-union show, and the difference really is authenticity. And it's weird. It's almost like a wall.
Yeah.
Right? I saw 3 non-union musicals this season, and it really was like a wall.
Yeah.
And it was this weird, I just wasn't brought in.
Where'd you learn that skill set to be authentic? Is that just something you've always?
I was a fat, nerdy Jewish kid in school. Oh my goodness. Like a therapist. I'm going to cry.
That's what we do. You can lay down.
Yeah.
But it's true. I will lay down.
You'd be the first to cry on the show.
I'm
the way.
getting emotional thinking about it because I really was, you know, like bar mitzvah Ben. I had no friends, and I cracked a joke, right? And it was like a real joke. It was like about me. I cracked a joke, and then I had a connection, and I saw that, and I thought, well, shit, that's what I got to do,
That's
right?
it.
That's how I got to
That's the
connect.
first time yeah.
And I think once that clicked for me, I just knew that. And that's why when I meet somebody, I really do try to give them me. And guess what? Some people just don't like it.
But that's okay. You know what I mean? Ultimately,
I'd rather that any day
me
than
too.
having
The
a forced
older
connection.
I get, I'm like, some people
I
just aren't
think,
gonna like me.
and that was the big thing for leaving Disney. I was so sick of forcing connections
Yeah.
for people that weren't the audience.
I think that comes with age too, because at a certain
experience.
point you're just like, I want only the authentic relationships in my life.
Well, and social media is such an interesting thing because it literally is tracking how many people like you.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
It
know what I mean?
is a big
Which is-
popularity
it's-
contest.
Yeah,
I will
but
say
like
that.
when you have that feeling, even if it's offline or online,
Sure.
of like I have 400,000 people that actually care about me and
Right.
like me for who I am,
It's an
regardless of what I
extension
do.
of who you are.
I don't need to
absolutely.
force anything else in my
Correct.
life.
Mhm.
Like I don't need to force a relationship. I'm like, we don't like each other. That's okay.
I
but
mean, when Spiegel said best actor, best comedian, that's complete bullshit. I just had the most people vote for me, right? I was able to,
Sure.
I was able to authentically say, hey, I would like to be this. Can
Yeah.
you help me out?
of course, but they're like, yeah, anything for you
Yeah,
because we
and
like
they
you.
voted. Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Now, let's move on to fatherhood.
The best. The
Yes,
best.
let's move
The
on to
best.
fatherhood in this chapter of your life.
Yeah, we're all fathers.
We're all
yeah,
fathers.
yeah,
Yeah, we're all
yeah,
fathers
yeah.
here. So, your daughter is absolutely hysterical.
She's hysterical.
She's the star.
She
the
should
star.
have
She's
her
the
own
star.
channel eventually.
Yeah.
She's so funny.
So
She's obsessed with farting right now.
Well, so
I won't let her use that word. We use Yiddish. Flutz.
Oh,
she says
okay.
flutz. Yeah.
Flitz.
Yeah.
Now, like the armpit farting or actual farting?
She got whoopee cushions.
Oh,
well,
my
I'm
kids
cheap.
got
They're
too.
called whoopsie cushions.
Off-brand
cushions. It's ridiculous.
You just
They were
blow in
99
a
cents.
Ziploc baggie.
He was
and
going
stuff
through
it in
whoopee
someone's
cushions
butt.
left and
Yeah.
right.
She also just fart, like it farting in our house. We the Tesla farts. So we're like
When you
obsessed.
sit in it, it'll
Yeah.
do the,
Oh my goodness.
so
Well, I drive by people, and now because there was a lawsuit in Los Angeles, you have to like park the car to fart, and I will pull
That-
over and
Wait,
park the
wait,
car.
that
Hold
in
on.
itself is
You know
hysterical.
Tesla's fart.
Yeah, I did know that. What's this part? The car? What is the part you have to?
You used to be able to drive, right?
Yeah.
And then when people would cut me off, instead of flicking them back, because I don't need to fight with
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
If you're okay, your car's faster, your wife's tits
Whatever.
are bigger, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, good for you.
Yeah.
I just fart. I would just fart. They would get, you fart. And sometimes that diffuses it quickly. We're like,
There's a laugh.
It's
Yeah.
the best thing on a
That
car,
is
by
the
the way.
best
All
thing.
cars need to have it.
And there was a lawsuit only in California where
Yeah, they're like, you have to park and be
you gotta be
safe.
fully
Yeah,
parked.
you can't, yeah, because it was like a distraction.
Ah.
Well, what's a horn then?
That my horn was La Cucaracha. It really was. I was like, well, if I'm doing the Tesla, if I'm gonna put all my eggs in that basket, I'm gonna be the
Can
guy.
you do
gonna
like the
customize the shit out.
auga horn?
Yeah, they have that. They have that, but you can
Yeah.
also program your own horn. And how I say hello to everybody, I mean, even at drive-thrus is hi, like always and
Yes.
forever. And that's
Yeah.
kind of like my thing. I have it on T-shirts, whatever. And so I wanted to program that into, but Elon got sued and lost, and so he had to change it. So
Software
changed it.
update.
Dang.
Here's the new software
Yeah.
update.
So your biggest video, the most watched video, is the
was when Charlotte was born. I had 20 that got 28 million views.
Wow.
Now that
Oh,
was
The
on the original
sweet
TikTok,
video, right?
yeah,
Like
of
you
Charlotte
being
getting
emotional.
born, which, by the way,
It's awesome.
I reposted it, and some Spanish speaking person, I have no idea where they were from, but it was in Spanish. I had to translate it.
Yeah.
Was because I was 400 pounds. That fat man proceeded to eat the baby. I thought
That's
that was
funny.
the funniest
That's really
thing of the
funny.
entire- I'm like, you think you're hurting me, but you know,
I appreciate
I
the
could
comedy.
imagine
Yes.
spending 40 grand on an adoption to then eat the baby, right?
Eat your
It's
baby.
the most expensive
But she,
meal
you
you'll
had
ever have.
there's a video of you in front of your house. That was
That Ring doorbell, which was like $250, has paid for itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
That has
say.
made
And then
me-
is
some.
that all? So her videos,
Yeah.
Are they? Do you prep her, or is that
No.
just literally
No.
stuff falling out of her mouth?
No. And in fact, she is not good prepped.
She overthinks it.
You can't
Don't script her.
you
Listen,
can't fake her.
She's authentic.
She is.
Yes.
She really is.
Yes.
So that
She's
part of
really
you rubbed
authentic.
off on her.
And a few times I've caught her, right? Like at the doorbell, right? Like performing. And I'm
Oh.
like, geez,
Get
my
out of it.
goodness.
No, it's not as
But
good.
the problem is she knows these videos are getting posted.
She does.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
she's
So-
aware.
It'll change.
What used to be literally every other day, there's something now it's every other week because she knows. You
Yeah.
can't post the ones that she knows.
Yeah.
You can only post the authentic
Oh, I
ones.
fell down.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
it's a
darn
start-
it.
Yeah, she's a genius, right? Yeah. Okay.
Nice pratfall.
Be like, you
yeah.
need to go to clown school. We
She-
got
need to
well,
go-
the
we gotta
problem,
figure
she's
it
in
out.
that day and age where she thinks she knows what's funny. It's like the
Yeah.
knock
Oh, yeah.
knock. Who's there? Duty pee pee.
God.
I hate that.
I do too.
I hate
It's
it.
not
I was
funny.
like,
It's not
this is not
authentic.
why I had a kid.
No.
no, you're right. You're my straight man.
No, yeah.
I'm
You say
not
this
your
stuff
straight
and I
man, and I
react.
never will be.
I
your straight-
react.
Yes. Yeah.
So how do you like being a dad in Orlando? Like,
Well, first of all, everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're a gay dad in Florida," and
yeah, and I'm like, I'm in Orlando.
yeah, like you would never know.
Right,
You know, my husband and
Wait.
I, we walk down the
That's-
street with hands holding
That's one out of every 4 people.
I
mean,
remember when I adopted our kid, and I was like, "Oh, I'm groundbreaking." And one of the actors at Frozen turned to me, and she was like, "That's old. That's
Two
not
dads?
old.
Yeah.
You need to be trans man having a baby. That's hip. Like what you're doing is old."
Yeah. That is funny.
No, but being a gay dad in Orlando is awesome.
Okay.
I mean,
cool.
it's serious. We have there's so much to do here, right? And not just theme parks. Theme parks are great,
Yeah.
but there's always something to do with my kid. And in fact, I go through FOMO. Right, I'm like on Instagram, and I'm going, "Oh, we miss Bluey."
I know. I did the same thing.
Yeah,
I blew
same.
it.
I know.
I blew
We
it. No
blew
pun
it.
intended. I blew
Yeah.
it. But I sent my agent. They rep the company that sent Bluey out.
Yeah.
I forget what the
Yeah.
production company is. I was like, "Get me free tickets, and I'll
Wow.
do a post." And I don't want to talk negatively about my agent. So,
Well, she's
yeah.
your former
It didn't
agent.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
she's
didn't
your
happen.
ex-agent now,
No,
but
it's okay. I mean, I will say this town has gotten so big so quickly, and there is more and more coming to Orlando every single day. That's what I've noticed.
You know, when I first came here 20 years ago, food sucked.
Yep.
Right, but traffic was great. Now traffic sucks, but food is
So
impeccable.
good.
Yeah, it's
What are some
way
cool things
good.
that you guys do as a family?
My favorite Dixie cream. That's like
right. That's your
that's my go-to.
That's the only place I've ever
Well, we've
broke bread together. Like
yeah.
we've
What's
literally
Dixie
had their
cream? I've never been there.
Dixie
Yeah.
Cream is
Dixie
a
Cream Cafe.
locally owned brunch place. It used to be Windermere 7-Eleven, and they turned it into this place that everybody goes to.
Okay.
And you almost can't get in on the weekends.
Right.
They're closed on Mondays. It's impeccable.
Wow.
breakfast.
I'm obsessed with Jeff's Bagels. Like obsessed.
Did you were because that was a COVID
Yeah.
baby basically,
Yeah,
right?
he
He just
was-
created bagels in his own kitchen.
Yeah.
And now he has a whole thing, right?
Yeah, and franchising like out of
Yeah,
state.
we need to have him on. We'll have him
Holy
on.
cow.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah.
I wonder what type of water he uses.
He uses water here, but he uses malt, I think is the
Okay.
secret, and he definitely boils and bakes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. There's some donut and bagel places where they literally like bring in water from New Jersey and New York and places like that, so
Wow.
they can have that authentic.
I've had the bagel
type
off.
of
I've had
bagels, yeah.
fans come because they insist that bagels from New York are better.
Yeah.
And I do the switcheroo. They don't know.
They don't
I
know.
have no
They don't
idea.
know.
Yeah.
These
the
bag-
blindfold
Are
test.
you
really, wow.
you're gonna do live show? Like
Yeah.
So everybody's listening right now.
Yeah,
There's live
I'm
shows
going to be
coming up.
completely frank. We've talked about how I don't get nervous anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's something about, the comedians getting canceled and all this stuff. I am so nervous about putting it back up on its feet that I have not.
Because the culture has changed. That it's
Culture has
shifted.
changed.
Sure.
And let's be frank, I don't have I don't think I have my finger on the pulse of what may or may not be PC.
Wow.
So I don't want to say something that I think, I mean, you know, I'm a gay guy with a kid, right?
Yeah,
Right.
but I think also
Right.
like you have enough following that likes that about whatever you say. You know what I mean? You have a freedom that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah.
Because of what you've created in this authentic creation. You know what I mean? The Equity Ben thing. Again, it's just you.
Yeah.
So anybody that comes to the show
They know what they're going to get.
You
so-
can't.
so
I
to
can't.
speak.
You never offend me.
I will do it again. I just, as of right now, like this very moment,
Mhm.
the balls to do it they're missing.
Is it a lot of work to put that on, to get that together? Is the
No,
material
I've got a pretty solid show.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid. And with my kid, stuff happens all the time that can go in
Oh,
and out.
yeah.
Yeah. There is no lack of material, right? But it's just getting the chutzpah up to sell it again.
Right.
You
Right.
could do a small audience. You know what I
I
mean?
don't need a small.
Like that's boring.
Why go
I love
small?
that response.
Boring.
I love that response.
Like this is my small audience,
Yeah.
right? So like I
Right.
would often test out material with like texts or friend groups or whatever.
Yeah.
And if things stuck, I would say, oh, let me try that again with another group. And if it stuck again, I think, well, I think this is a bit.
Yeah.
Ah, so you can test your own material.
Yeah,
I
Wow,
want
that's
you
so
to do a
cool.
live show.
I'm going to tell you right now, watch any comedian, Netflix, whatever, right? And the only difference between the comedians is their transitions. And you look at the transitions,
Oh.
you're like, that's not as
Right.
right. This isn't as
In
hard as
between
you think
bits,
it is.
yeah.
Right,
That's all
it's
it is.
really-
So
It's
who's your
just getting-
favorite comedian? Like on
I love Seinfeld, and I know
Seinfeld.
people are like, "Oh, he's
such a smart comedian.
Oh, he's
though.
so smart.
What about Larry
He's so
David?
smart.
I love Larry David too.
Okay, cool.
But Larry David's like that uncomfortable. But
He's the awkward.
Yeah, but I love it. I love it
yeah.
so much.
Okay.
I loved every episode. I mean, I was obsessed with the producer stuff that he
Yeah.
did. I just think it's genius. I think he's hysterical.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, there are very few comedians where I just think, oh, that's not funny. I mean, I kind of love all comedy. We just went to see Mateo Lane. He's TikTok famous gay comedian, and I'll say Orlando audiences, they're a little
Mixed.
rough. Like they're a little harder to
Break through.
because we have so much entertainment here, right?
Yeah.
And you could see it. I mean, we were all laughing. We all loved the show, but you could see he was
like
working.
Oh, he was like,
Oh,
this wasn't
And
as
so
easy as I
for me
thought.
in the audience, I was kind of like, well, welcome, Mr. Famous.
Yeah,
right. It's not as easy as it looks down here.
Yeah, you still got to cut some chops, I see.
Yeah. Be like, everyone's desensitized, so you got your.
But you like watch somebody like that who's like famous and never stops working. Like now, like he's working every single week. And I was very proud of my content and what I can do on the stage because I'd see the similarities.
What do you have? What do you have? Like, do you plan? What's coming up?
Mostly right now, I'm working on a partnership with a mop, and I'm gonna post about that. I know it sounds silly, but stuff like that, that's what pays the bills,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
And then after that, it's just back to content creating. I have a couple of things in the can on TikTok ready to go. And what's crazy is that companies like big marketing companies, they buy these videos, and I luckily am smart enough to read contracts and say, no, you can't have the rights. I retain exclusive rights. So stuff like that happens all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And
You manage yourself too. Wow.
yeah, I manage myself.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
I do have an agent who sends
Books
books me.
God rest
all
her
online.
soul.
Yeah. She couldn't get me Bluey.
But she couldn't get you
She
Bluey.
blew it with Bluey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
there
Louise.
it is. That writes itself.
We got orangey. We didn't get bluey. Anyway, Ben, where can we find you at? Give us your handles, give us some information about you, your Instagram, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm not on Twitter. That's a realtor.
Okay.
So I'm on Instagram at EquityBen.
Okay.
I'm on TikTok at equity.ben.
Okay.
Because there is an Equity Ben and they're impersonating me and it's my face. It's like my face.
That's
Like, how do you get rid of that? I don't know. Or you could just come to my house because you've seen it online.
And if you see him driving around town, he'll give
I
you a
will
little
fart
fart.
you. I will definitely
I will
fart you.
But leave a joke at the door because the ring's recording.
Yeah,
please,
definitely.
please.
Always
Yeah,
record.
always
Man,
recording.
we're so glad you were on
Yeah,
here.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you
You're
so
one
much,
of our
Ben.
favorite
I'm
people.
sorry that I never shut up. I really apologize.
What are you talking
You
about?
didn't show
That's
up.
what podcasts are literally to talk.
Right, yeah. I just like this never-ending stream
No,
of
you have so many
consciousness.
fun stories and interesting things.
In fact, my daughter is getting in trouble at school for talking too much, and I can't.
And you're like,
I'm like, yeah, me too.
You're like, maybe she's at the wrong
Yeah,
school.
good.
Her teacher's like, oh, I think she might have ADHD, and I'm like, me too.
yeah,
Like, I don't know what you want.
watch what that'll do for her.
Yeah.
You're like,
she's
wait,
gonna be
what?
TikTok
I was like,
famous.
you're a teacher. This is what you have to deal with.
Yeah.
Like, good luck. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
We love you.
Thank you so
Thank
much. We
Thank
love you, Ben.
I love teachers.